For episode number 131 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, the Geeks on Tour. Our beginner's lesson today will be about mobile internet and how to from the experts. But first, Chris has a quick tip.
I sure do. And today, the quick tip is about Facebook, how to control your news feed. I don't know about anybody else, but it seems like just lately I've been getting more and more garbage in my Facebook news feed. So I figured I'd give the tip of what I do when it's bothering me and I don't want to see all that garbage. You change your news feed. I mean, what does news feed stand for? What is news? Facebook decides what is news. So if you're using just your home page news feed, you're seeing what Facebook wants you to see. I want to see, sometimes I feel like I'm missing some things from my friends and I want to see the most recent. And sometimes I only want to see the items from my close friends. So I'm going to show you how to do that. On the Apple, with the Facebook app, you tap on the little grid menu in the lower right, and then you find the section for feeds, and then you would I select either most recent if I want to see everything, or close friends if I just want to see my close friends news. On the Android, the same thing. It's just a little bit different icons. The menu is a 3-line menu in the upper right, and then you find the feeds section and choose either most recent or close friends. So let me show you how. And first, I'm going to show on the iPhone. So there's the Facebook app. And this is just my home and my standard feed. And I'm going to tap on the grid menu and scroll down until I see feeds. Now you might have to tap on a see all to get everything. Look at all these options. Whew.
Wow.
Too much. Now I am not seeing feeds, and is that because it's up in my recently used? Anyway, you should see this feeds somewhere. Tap on that. And there you go. If I tap on most recent, I will know that I'm seeing everything that I've asked for, just in date order. Or if I tap on close friends, then I am just seeing the posts by my close friends. On the Android, once again, the Facebook app. And same idea, it's just that the menu is the 3 lines in the upper right. And then you find the section for feeds. And there it says feeds and see all. These are all the different kinds of feeds, and you can, most recent will be showing you everything, or you can back up and choose close friends instead, and then you're just seeing the close friends. So that is my tip for a general tip. Then I also, a few weeks ago, I started, I'm glad I did this. I just wanted to mention, if you don't know how to add people to your close friends list or use the mobile app for Facebook, we did a whole episode on this a year ago or so, episode number 68 on Facebook for mobile, if you want to learn more about Facebook for mobile.
Somebody mentioned it's even easier if you just don't use Facebook.
But what fun is that? I love Facebook for keeping up with friends.
Absolutely.
I really do, but I'd hate it for some other things. All right. The photo edit for today is, we took a photo at a friend's house here in Fort Lauderdale, lives on a lovely canal, and it was just so dark, but it's just one click with Google Photos. And let me show you. I'm going to do it. It works exactly the same on the iPhone and the Android.
Are we getting product placement there when you with your LaCroix?
Now, that actually was a friend's post, not an ad.
I know.
Okay. So Google Photos. And the picture that I want is back a little ways. And right. Okay, no, it's not. There it is. It just hadn't refreshed. So this is really pretty dark, and how nasty. It's such a pretty spot. You just tap on the edit menu and one tap on auto. Boom, brightens it up. It's a great picture now, and I can save it. And that's on either iPhone or Android, as long as you're using Google Photos. All right. Those are my quick tips. And
all right.
Your turn.
Very cool. Hi, I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And do you have questions about your Android phone or your iPad tablet? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks who teach, and we think the best way to learn is in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. So that's why we came up with this weekly show. We usually record it live on Sundays, and after it's recorded, we write up show notes and we post it all to our members on Wednesdays. So we hope that people will get together kind of like a book club. If you have a group of friends that like to learn about smartphones, here is your book club selections.
Cool.
Lifelong learning.
That's what we're all about. All right, on today's show, let's see. We have some special guests. Chris and Cherie of mobileinternetinfo.com will give us some tips about unlimited data plans and then take us on a guided tour of their website.
Yes.
So
yes,
you can learn
everything
more
is there.
So if you have questions, ask those in the chat window there on the YouTube page, and I'll try and get to them by Wednesday afternoon. As Chris said, this episode will be posted up there at thebuttonshow.com, and you can leave your comments there. So Chris, where are we now?
We're at home in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, in Studio A. And our friends Chris and Cherie are joining us from a boatyard in Miami. Wow. They're having a lot of work done on their boat, which is where they are living right now. And we got to spend the day with them yesterday. It was so much fun to show them around Fort Lauderdale and bring them up here, give them a day away from their boatyard.
All right, has Chris, let's see, questions? I don't see anything in there yet, but want to thank Chris and Cherie for mentioning this live. Okay, thanks so much. Appreciate you guys for coming. We have people from all over, Indiana, Kentucky, California. Wow. But ask your questions in there and we'll try and get to them. Okay.
So just a little bit about Chris and Cherie, and then we're just going to turn it over to them for the majority of the show today. They are tech nomads. They have been in technology for many, many years, and they have been living in an RV and now a boat. We met them first in 2013. That's our picture there. We knew them even before that for online, but we met them in person in 2013, and that is their RV. And then we got together with them yesterday.
Right here in town.
And had a Geek Fest.
Right. Well, Chris is from this area, and she went to high school here.
This Chris. There's two Chris's on the show today.
This Chris too, actually.
Chris too? Which one is Chris too?
No, I went to high school in this area too. So.
Oh, right. Well, that's kind of what I thought he was saying to start with.
Okay. All right.
But these guys are the experts. They have made it their business. It started out being just what they needed to do for themselves, but they made it their business to know everything about how to stay connected while you're traveling. And they share it all. We are so lucky to have them with us, and we thank them. They have a website, YouTube channel, a book, a private Facebook group, and a premium membership you can join if you want even more. I have asked them to take us on a guided tour of their website because all the information is there if you know how to find it. And Cherie also offered to give us a couple tips about unlimited data plans to start with. So we'll let you take it away.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
awesome.
Hey, it's good to see you virtually today and in person yesterday. It's always fun to have a Geek Fest.
I'm Cherie.
I'm Chris.
And we're Technomatic is our personal website, but we were fielding so many questions about mobile internet, about how we stay connected to run our business remotely, that we started the Mobile Internet Info Resource Center. And we actually started it as RV Mobile Internet because we were RVers. But now that we're shifting to boats, we're trying to cover both bases.
Yes. And that was, what, 4 years ago now that we started this?
Yeah, 2013 is when we came out with the first book, just about the time we met Chris and Jim.
Yeah, so we did this book just to answer all the we were getting so many questions about how to stay connected. And, you know, we'd gotten good at it because we worked online, and we've been working online our entire 11 years on the road, that we started sharing our tips and advice and having one place to direct people to. And this has become such a big thing now that we were actually able to phase out our other work and our other clients and the programming work and the things we did for other people. And now our full-time job is helping other people, other nomads and travelers and cruisers and RVers and anyone who needs to stay connected on the go, giving them the best possible advice on how to do that. That's our full-time job.
And we're really honored that we're supported by our premium membership. So we don't take advertising dollars. We don't have sponsorships. That keeps us unbiased so that we can present the information and give you the pros and cons of each decision choice and not trying to like sell things. So we love that. We love that our community has chosen to support us.
Oftentimes we actually end up talking people out of spending money as opposed to talking them into spending more is one of the things we do in our membership areas.
But what I wanted to give you guys some information on is all these unlimited smartphone plans that the carriers are now offering. And that's been a big shift in the industry in 2017 is back in February, all 4 of the carriers brought back unlimited data plans. But we've had to go to calling them unlimited with the air quotes because these unlimited plans come with some limits, and that's what we want to talk to you guys about today so you can understand them.
And the limits are very confusing. A lot of people think they're more limited than they really are, and other people think that, well, it should be completely unlimited, and I don't understand what's going on with this. So we'll give you just a kind of a quick on both sides of that recap of that, and then talk more about
the website and what other information you can get there. So first of all, smartphones. These unlimited data plans, they are designed primarily for on-device data. And that's using data on your smartphone. And that's for checking email, getting navigation routing, reading Facebook, maybe even watching video, but on your smartphone.
And, well, you know, you could watch a movie on this, but it's unless you kind of hang the phone in front of your face, it's not the best movie experience. And if you want to do laptop stuff and computer stuff and use your real computer, well, that's suddenly where a lot of these limits kick in, is because then they have, even though you can make a hotspot out of your phone, suddenly you've got tethering limits and caps.
So we'll talk about that one first, is the mobile hotspot cap. And as you know, you can go into your settings on your smartphone and set up a personal mobile hotspot.
With most plans, yes.
And what that does is it allows your smartphone to create its own Wi-Fi network that your computers, laptops, Roku devices, video streaming devices, tablets, any other device that you would use to connect to the internet. It allows it to use the data plan to get those devices online. You could also use cable and tether directly to it. Right. But all of these new unlimited data plans that the carriers have mobile hotspot restrictions because they don't want you using this data plan as your primary home internet connection.
And if you think about it, because cellular connections have actually gotten faster than even cable modems in some areas. So yeah, it would be very tempting for people to cut the cord and switch everything to cellular, but there's not enough lanes in the cellular highway to actually make that possible, at least until 5G comes along. So they don't want you to do that. So that's why the limits are there.
So Verizon currently has a 15 gigabyte per month mobile hotspot cap. So the first 15 gigabytes is at high full speed. And then you're then brought down to what they're calling 3G speeds.
It's still unlimited, but slow.
For mobile hotspot use only. All the other carriers have a 10 gigabyte mobile hotspot cap. T-Mobile's got some interesting plans. They're a little bit different.
A little bit different.
But you do need to know what those caps are and know that 15 gigabytes is still a good amount of data. And what this plan is designed for is people who maybe travel a little bit during the month or just want to be able to get the laptop on while they're having lunch out.
But it does not mean hooking up your Apple TV or your Roku and streaming in HD nonstop. You can do that. And we've actually got we'll talk a little bit more about that. You can still do all that stuff, but it's not simple and straightforward.
So that restriction right there is one reason why these new unlimited data plans from the carriers are not ideal for those of us that are living on the road to use as our primary internet connection. They're fabulous smartphone plans, but not great for a home internet connection. Now, the other restriction that comes on these plans that gets people confused about a lot is something that's called network management. And when you're looking at these plans or you're talking to your representatives, they're going to say, yes, you get full speed up until 22 gigabytes.
Yes,
23 gigabytes or 50 gigabytes in the case of T-Mobile.
Yes, and so people think that, a lot of people get very confused because they think that's going to be a throttle and they're only going to get fast data until, oh, so this is a 22 gigabyte plan. They're calling it unlimited. It's really a 22 gigabyte plan. It's actually, no, it's better than a lot of people realize.
So what network management means is that after it's designed so that high bandwidth users, they get their full high speed unlimited data, but after they've used a certain amount of data, they get deprioritized on the network. And all that means is that after you've used that 22 gigabyte threshold on...
That's AT&T and Verizon's limit.
And it's per phone, not per account. So each individual device gets this cap on it. After you've exceeded that, if you are on a congested tower in a city that a lot of people are connecting to for a small amount of time, your traffic may be slower than others with similar devices.
And so how that works in practice is a lot of people think, oh, well, once I've used 22 gigabytes, it's up for the month. Well, no, actually, in a lot of places, a lot of people report hardly even seeing, unless you have two phones side by side, one that's cross limit, one that's not, you might not even be able to tell that one is network management because it might just be slightly slower than the other one. And in practical purposes, in most places, it's really not been an issue for people.
Another limitation that we find on these unlimited plans is when it comes to video streaming. Now, video streaming, all of the carriers are pushing it because that is what consumers want, is they want to be able to stream video, especially those of us where that's our primary internet at night, or our primary entertainment at night. But video requires a lot of bandwidth. It is one of the most intensive things that you can do on the internet. So when you say, oh, I don't need to work online, I only want to stream some Netflix at night, it actually takes a lot more video generally to watch this video than it does to process Excel spreadsheets.
Yes, yeah. Working online is often the easy stuff. It's the entertainment, the gaming, and the video online that can burn through data like crazy.
So what a lot of these carriers do is on these unlimited plans is they put restrictions on the resolution of video that you can watch, and they might range anywhere from 480p, which is basically DVD quality, to 720p, which is still HD, but not like high def,
full HD.
Right. So that is one restriction. Now, when you're watching it on a small phone, that's not that big of a deal. You're just not going to really see the difference between 720 and like full HD video.
And it depends what you're watching as well, and also your personal taste. I mean, some people are video junkies, and it hurts them to see low-res video. And if they're watching Game of Thrones, you want to see every little rivet on a sword.
We know what you're talking about.
but other shows and other times and other things, it's like you don't care. So it all depends on your personal preferences, how your eyes are, whether HD video really matters to you. But for a lot of people, they really want to see HD video on the go, particularly if they've got to wait, they want to watch it on their bigger screen.
Now, that's what we're going to talk about next is, because of those mobile hotspot caps that we talked about earlier, it means that you can't use your unlimited smartphone plan to be a hotspot for like your Apple TV or Chromecast or Roku to get to watch television that way. You have to watch it on your device. But the way around that is you get an HDMI out adapter. And this is the one that Apple sells. They call it their AV adapter. It's about $40 or $50 depending upon where you get it. And basically it's got the Lightning port that plugs in to the smartphone. And then at the end of it, it's got a charging cable, so you can plug in a charging cable. But this one is an HDMI adapter. So you just put your HDMI cable into this, connect it to your television, and the screen is mirrored from whatever is showing on your smartphone to the television. It is not counting as mobile hotspot cap. It's still that unlimited data that you get on your smartphone plan.
Right.
And that's a great way to basically have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, and quite a few apps and stuff like Netflix, you can still then opt into Netflix in higher resolution. And if your cell phone plan supports higher than 480p, you could be watching in HD via this output. And not be blowing through your data. And every carrier has got little different tricks and different ways to do it and different things. And then Android is a whole different world, but we've actually got a whole big guide to how to do this in
that
Android.
sounds like a great time for us to share our screen.
So let's show you where to get this information and how to do the TV stuff.
So this is our guide. You can find this at mobileinternetinfo.com/TV. We make it very simple to find our guides, and you'll get a bunch of information about TV and movies on the road. We explain the issues of what we just talked about with the high bandwidth, and we have a whole bunch of free public content in this guide talking about how fast of a connection do you need to stream, why streaming over campground and Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, is not probably going to be too feasible. But if you want more information on what we're talking about with this screen sharing up to your television, streaming to the big screen, you can just click on this. It'll hop you back down right into that section of the guide, and you get lots of information. Here's the link to that HDMI adapter for Apple that we're talking about. And then
here's all the different ways you can do this on Android. So there's, depending on which kind of Android device you have, there may be 3 different types of HDMI output. Some Android devices don't support HDMI out, but on the other hand, they have basically, we can think of what Mirrorcast is the technology that you can think of as wireless HDMI, and some Android devices support this, not all of them, and that can actually mirror wirelessly but still use your on-device data, not your tethering data.
So there's a lot of information to cover on this. This guide, we try to keep our guides in as English as possible. These are very high-tech topics, but we try to translate it to
simple
as much as we can.
Yes.
We do have a video on this page too that goes over, that recaps all this too. So if you want to go back and watch that.
And then, you know, as you see this guide, there's a whole lot of this guide. A lot of everything you saw here is available in the free guide. And then, you know, we try to give away as much as we can for free, and then we go deeper for our members. So particularly a lot of the geekier stuff, or the more in-depth tips, or the more stuff for people who really rely on staying connected, we reserve that for in the member section of all our guides. And so we kind of try to cover both sides of the fence there.
Yeah, we try. Our members keep us funded. They allow us to spend full time. We have a staff of assistants who help us as well. So, like when Netflix announces a new feature or AT&T adds on a new data plan, we're constantly updating these guides so you have accurate and up-to-date information.
Yeah. And in particular, we have a lot of information and guides around how to find the plans that will really let you get at unlimited data past all these hoops and limits and tricks and stuff, so if you really are living on the road and you want to stream a lot, work a lot, do lots of things with your computers, we have guides that will help you get really unlimited data on every single carrier.
So to find all this information that we have guides to equipment for getting better Wi-Fi, for getting better cellular signal, and as Chris mentioned, better unlimited data plans. You just go to mobileinternetinfo.com, and also rvmobileinternet.com works as well. And we have an overview guide that you can go to and get just an overview that recaps everything about mobile internet. But if you go to our featured guide section, and there's a link right here, and also on every single page of the website, you just go to guides and go to the featured mobile internet guides. That will bring up all of our basic guides, and you can get a whole bunch of information. We have information on working on the road with our tips for keeping the best connection. There's that TV and movies one that we just showed you. Routing your travels around cellular coverage, we give you our tips and tricks for that. Getting better Wi-Fi, unlimited data. This guide right here is probably one of the most referenced guides that we have right now. It goes over every unlimited data option that we are tracking, including some that are truly unlimited if you're willing to go get like a legacy grandfathered Verizon plan that has no throttles or caps on it. We have
Free.
tips.
Just to clarify, do you need to be a paid member to see these guides?
Most of these guides are completely free or have all the basics free. So the way that we have structured our content is that if your needs are fairly basic, if you're just a casual internet user, you don't need to become a member of our site to get the guidance. If you want to go deeper with us, you want product reviews, you want to go into the more in-depth cellular signal enhancing, getting better Wi-Fi connections, and really getting into the depths with us. We test this stuff on the road. We spend hundreds of hours testing this stuff. That stuff is reserved for our members, but we've structured it so that if you rely on mobile internet, you're going to find that information to have value anyway.
And a lot of our members support us, even though they don't need the more detailed stuff. They just support us because it's a community resource, and it's just like supporting your favorite public radio station. Is you want this information out there, so hey, support the people providing it.
Absolutely. The best thing anybody ever did for us that I still remember is they didn't need any of our private membership information, but they just sent us a check that said, thank you for all the stuff you've provided for free over the years. And that's great. Yes.
I love the gifting economy model where we gift out and we just trust that it comes back. It comes back. And that's the way we like to run. We do offer a mobile internet university. Is a new feature of our website, and this is part of our member exclusive benefits, but the first section is completely free. But basically this walks you through our guides, starting with the basics, the overview, helping you assess what your mobile internet needs are on the road, and then it gets into more of the complexes, how to choose cellular data plans, your equipment, Wi-Fi hotspots. Satellite internet is coming back. It's making a resurgence right now, so we're tracking that actively. And we go into installation, routers, and bringing it all together, and then some sample setups and considerations. But these are a combination here, like I'll show you a sample of lesson 1 of going to our guides, and that most of them have a video that goes along with them. And our videos tend to be very in-depth. We talk a lot because there's a lot to talk about. We also do review gear. We also track all the mobile internet gear. So if you go to our gear center, we're tracking mobile hotspots, cellular boosters, antennas, routers.
Yeah. All this stuff is not created equally. Sometimes just really understanding the differences and what do these features mean? What is important when you're weighing a cellular hotspot? What are the LTE bands? What's the underlying technology? What's worth it? What's not? We try to give all the overviews of all of that.
And if you don't understand what he's talking about with LTE bands, things like carrier aggregation, MIMO technology, we actually have guides to all that too to help you understand why it's important sometimes to have the latest and greatest features. Yep. So if you were shopping for a mobile hotspot for AT&T's network, you can click just AT&T. It's going to bring up only the current options that are available on AT&T, and then you can read further about the various equipment. Those that we have hands-on time with, we have very in-depth reviews and tutorials on.
Yeah, videos usually.
And you can also see what equipment we currently are testing and is currently in review. The Netgear Nighthawk just came out last month, and we have that in active testing right now. We also have a video center. So a lot of people enjoy video. We have a dedicated YouTube channel. You can find that at Mobile Internet Resource Center is the YouTube channel that we have dedicated to this topic. That's different than our personal Technomadia channel, where we talk about our personal life. We host monthly webinars for our members, so you can see what our upcoming webinars are. Later this evening, we actually have a private Q&A session with our members. And
then we actually have a featured topic coming up later this month on mobile gaming and all the tips for how to do gaming over mobile connections.
But you can also access our free guides. So our mobile internet overview of the different cellular carriers for RVers, how to find coverage, swollen mobile hotspot batteries. So we do a lot of free content, and you can get it all right here. We also, another section of the website that we haven't talked about much is our news stories.
Yes.
Is in order to keep on top of all these guides, we have to be constantly watching press releases, forums, and looking for announcements of new data plans, new equipment that's coming out. So every time there's a news story, and we'll take you to the news center. we create a news article, and we basically take the industry breaking news and we analyze it specifically for mobile travelers and how it impacts you. And these are all free articles.
Yeah, and we go really deep. I mean, we often have to go straight to the source and get comments and details from the carriers, from the manufacturers. Sometimes manufacturers give us exclusive sneak previews and stuff like that. And though the public news articles are all for the most part open to everyone and free, our members sometimes will get a heads up like a week or two or sometimes months in advance of here's a new product, here's a sneak preview. The public article doesn't come out until January, stuff like that. So we have that in our member forum section.
Right. So like this new router that just came out last week, we've actually been keeping our members informed about it for over the last year since we've known it's been in development. So they've been getting sneak peeks on it. And we just got this one in, and we'll be doing an unboxing video later on this and showing it off and starting to do testing on it. So a lot of our news articles now also have a video component, so you can actually get the free videos on that. So I don't know, is there anything else you wanted us to show off, Chris and Jim?
I think you just did a great job there. I'm in awe of the amount of work that you put into that website, and I know that I don't have to go anywhere else to find out the information. It's there.
Okay, there were a couple of questions here, and let's see real quick. And sorry, will casting to the phone to smart TV work on an unlimited plan?
So it depends on how you're doing it. And that's what our guide goes into the differences, because if you're using Apple's AirPlay or Google's Chromecast, usually that counts as tethering data. But if you're using Miracast, it usually does not. So you've got to really understand exactly what the way you're doing it to your phone from your device. And the best possible way to distill it down is to read that guide we've got.
Go through it, figure out what your specific device is and what your options are. And find the way that isn't using that mobile hotspot cap that's on the modern unlimited plans. Now there are options.
You know where you can get all of those resources.
Yeah.
And there are unlimited data plans out there that don't have these caps on them, and our unlimited guide goes through those options, and we're constantly tracking what the best options are that can be used as a home internet replacement.
Right.
Okay, Ted asks, we have Verizon now, but only have a 2 gig plan. Want to Netflix in the future. Any suggestions?
Definitely check our unlimited data plan guide when you're ready to switch and see what the current best options are.
That 2 gigs will go really, really fast if you try to watch some Netflix.
That's maybe 1 hour of Netflix.
and less than if you're trying to watch HD or 4K. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of comments in the middle of here, too. Let's see, worrying about hitting upload monthly caps. Looking for tips on bandwidth and cost to best maintain a YouTube channel. Uploading my first, inspired by Chris and Cherie.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, there's actually a whole different world of concerns if you're doing a lot of uploading versus downloading, because uploading requires a really good connection back to the tower, whereas if you're just streaming video, you can have a weak connection back to the tower. So for people who are doing a lot of uploading, that's actually where cellular boosters can come in really handy, because that makes more of a difference on the upload than the download. And a lot of people get confused about that.
So yeah, if you're doing something with uploading, and that includes us broadcasting this video.
Two-way video is uploading.
So we're doing two-way video. So you guys are downloading, those of you who are watching this, but we're uploading video. And so are the geeks. They are uploading video. And when you're doing upload, you have to pay a lot of attention to maximizing your signal. And that's when antennas and cellular enhancing gear become really important to researching and knowing what you can do, because your speeds for upload are critically important when you're doing anything that's large file uploads. And that includes going to YouTube, which you're just doing one file transfer, or doing a streaming sort of thing like we are doing now.
Don't we know it?
Now, but if you are uploading a saved video and not doing this live stuff, you can just set it and let it go all night, right?
Yes, you can.
You can, but the difficulty comes about is if your connection completely drops, it may not resume. And, you know, if you've used like 2 gigabytes of data to do a big upload and your connection drops overnight or something happens,
it's not able to resume successfely,
that's
and suddenly
2
you've
gigabytes.
wasted all that data. Yeah. We've been there.
So I prefer to maximize the upload speeds as much as I can to reduce the amount of times I need to keep that stable connection going.
And no cellular plan has followed the old satellite system where from 2 to 5 a.m. in the morning you had unlimited.
No, I wish. I mean, even old cellular voice plans. Remember when you had
Nights and weekends.
Nights and weekends for free?
Calls.
Remember when we had capped voice minutes? I really wish the carriers would go to a peak data sessions like that, so that it would be, I think, a perfect solution to network management.
Oh, here I see a real easy question for Chris. Why do you prefer iPhone over Android?
Oh gosh,
This could take a while.
it is a compliment. I mean, I appreciate both. I've been, I was at Palm before either iPhone or Android were even born.
And he means at Palm, he worked for Palm.
Yes, I was there at the birth of the smartphone industry, working on some of the early tech, and the iPhone was the most amazing jump in technology. When that first iPhone came out, my jaw was on the floor, and Apple has done so much right that it hasn't really tempted me to switch. I have Androids and I play with them, but just for my personal phone, I really like the overall simplicity of iPhone, and the overall hardware quality blows me away.
We also have an all Apple household. So it's not necessarily that we think Apple is better. It's just that we can have everything made by the same company.
It all works together.
It all works seamlessly together, where instead of mixing and matching pieces for us, it just simplified things. And we can still run Windows under our Apple products. We can't do the reverse. So
you can't run Android on your iPhone, unfortunately.
No.
But oh well.
And we are basically Android people for a lot of the same reason. When the iPhone first came out, our jaw was on the floor also, and we wanted one, but we were with Verizon, and iPhone was
AT&T only for the first 2 years.
So we had to wait for the first phone that came out on Verizon, and it was Android. And we liked it, and we saw no reason to switch. I now have an iPhone because we want to teach them, and that's why I am so primarily a Google person, because the Google apps work the same on both platforms.
Yep. That's actually
not because either phone is better or worse than the other. I agree completely.
The best phone is the newest one.
The best phone is your newest one, yeah.
One thing I really love about the iPhone, though, is you get the best of all worlds, is because everybody does their apps for iPhone, and they do a really good job of it, and then some of them are on Android. You're not going to get Apple Maps on Android, but you get Google Maps on iPhone. And I love having both of them going at the same time, and letting them compare and contrast and get both options.
Yeah, and developers put more effort into iPhone apps just because
it's a bigger market.
It's a bigger. There's more app buyers in Apple's ecosystem than there are app buyers in Android's, and we're app developers. We've seen the numbers.
Yes.
We feel the numbers, and there's just less development to keep on top of in Apple, because you're only developing really for one phone.
Yeah, one OS.
Whereas Android tends to have multiple, so there's a lot more effort to develop for Android just because of that, and there's less buyers in Android. So.
But there are a few cool things that Android can do that iPhones can't, because
Apple locks you down to things.
Yeah, Apple locks you down mostly for security. So there's a lot more malware in Android, but also means there's some certain advanced things. Like, as a cellular geek, some of the cellular scanning tools only exist on Android. They don't exist on iPhone because Apple doesn't let developers hack your low-level cell radio to monitor you. Whereas Android, go for it.
All right. There's a question, are cruise ship packages covered in your information?
Oh, slightly.
Only slightly. We focus on nomadic travels. So yes, there are those who spend a lot of time on cruise ships, working on cruise ships, but we focus on U.S.-based travels. So.
But we did go check out the review of the Skyroam in our review center. It's a mobile hotspot that travels internationally, and we actually reviewed it in the context of using it on a cruise, because it doesn't work at sea, but at every port in every country we were able to get online.
Because cruise ship internet packages are very expensive. They're over satellite, and so they might be variable speeds. And did I mention they're expensive?
Yes.
They're really expensive.
But the Skyroam connected port, you're good.
Okay, would it be preferred to upload large file from the phone versus tethered hotspot? I.e., does the data differ on the plans?
if you have an unlimited data plan on one of the modern ones from the carriers, and you have the option to upload a file from your phone directly to the service, that's going to be on-device data and not counting against your mobile hotspot cap. If you're doing it tethered and going through your desktop computer or your laptop, that's going to count as mobile hotspot data and count against your mobile hotspot cap.
Right. So it can be a lot of hoops to try and move a file to your phone and then set up the upload and do all that. But if you know how to do those hoops, some people, they make that a regular part of their work, and that's they do all their uploads on the phone. You have to move the file first to do it, though.
Okay, and Bill asks, if all users logged offline when not using the internet, would it help users that are online to get more bandwidth?
Yeah, probably. But it's a hassle.
Right. Agreed on iPhone. Also, once in the ecosystem, they're pretty much, yeah. Okay, Apple's a lot more expensive. Well, not necessarily.
There's some expensive Androids.
Money on Androids.
Yeah, if you look at the flagship Android phones versus an iPhone, modern iPhone, they're usually competitively priced.
Yeah, and then if you look at particularly because iPhones are supported for so long, if you look at the 2-year-old models, they're still actively supported and they're very affordable. And particularly they hold their value and they're built so well, they're good used, that a used phone, I'd rather have a used 3-year-old iPhone than a new cheapy Android, because a lot of the cheapy Androids are really cheap.
Now, I told you, we bought a $59 Android just to see, and I kind of like it.
Some of them are good. You got to do your homework.
Right,
yeah.
but those lesser cost Android phones are going to be the first to be abandoned as Android comes out with whatever their candy bar acronym is of the day.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, we've been told that we're getting a little geeky here.
All right.
I think that happens when you get 4 geeks together. So.
What do you expect about Technomatia and Geeks on Tour?
It's kind of getting long too, so I think that
I think we covered all the questions pretty much.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you all for joining us, and
we're not kind of quite yet.
Not quite yet, but we do invite you to become a member of Geeks on Tour. Just go to our website, geeksontour.com, and also mobileinternetinfo.com. That's Chris and Cherie's resources website.
And your pricing is going up after the first year. What is it right now?
Right now you can subscribe to our site for $57 per year, and we have had that price for a very long time, but we've been adding a lot of new content.
And new assistants.
We now have 3 staff members who help us out. So we are going at the first of the year having our first price increase in a very long time. We'll be going up to $65 per year. So you can still get in and lock in that $57 price if you join by the end of this year.
Okay, and we'll put those links.
And ours happens to be $58 a year.
Okay, and we'll put those links and prices and everything in on our
show notes.
On our show notes that come out on Wednesday. So do see our website, geeksontour.com. Click on the weekly class menu, scroll down to show the archives. There's all kinds of good information in there. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com. And just search for Geeks on Tour, you'll find us. Okay, and somebody else has a YouTube channel there, Mobile Internet Resource Center. So youtube.com/Mobile Internet Resource Center, and there's a lot of good information there.
You clicked on the link rather than.
Oh no!
There we go.
Okay, well. Did you learn something? I know I did.
So we always end with these review questions. Someday we'll figure out how to get the audience to answer, but right now we're just asking Chris and Cherie to answer these when Jim asks them.
The only truly unlimited data plan is A, T-Mobile, B, Verizon grandfathered, C, Verizon Beyond Unlimited.
So the Verizon grandfathered plans, these ones from years and years ago, you can still get them, and they're still really, really unlimited.
No throttling, no hotspot caps, and
they're the golden, they're the holy grail of mobile internet. But you got to jump through some serious hoops to still get your hands on one.
Yeah, we still have ours,
and you can still get them.
Limitations on unlimited plans include A, the number of users, B, speed, C, hotspotting, D, streaming video services.
Well, none of the plans themselves restrict the number of users per device.
Right.
Some devices might have caps to how many people can be
Sure.
concurrently set up, but it's not related to the plan. But all the other ones, those are limitations that you'll
you might run
find.
across for sure.
So speed, hotspotting, and streaming services can all impact.
How they think they can use the word unlimited and then list the limitations.
Yeah. Well,
But that's how it is.
Always your air quotes are
Well,
unlimited.
if you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, if you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, they're going to still close the restaurant at 11 o'clock at night. They're going to kick you out when the restaurant closes, even though it's all you can eat.
All right, that's a good analogy.
Okay, the best source for unbiased mobile internet resources is A, mobileinternetinfo.com, B, rvmobileinternet.com, or C, technomadia.com.
That's a trick question, guys.
All of the above.
So we started as RV Mobile Internet, and we are rebranding to Mobile Internet Info to cover other types of travelers than just
we're
RVers.
covering boats and marine gear now as well.
But we're staying U.S. based.
Yeah, and we're also keeping the RV. So we're
Technomadia is our personal blog, so you will find our travel adventures there, and that's where we started talking about mobile internet for our own needs, and you can still find a lot of our content there, including our current setup.
Okay, to use the Mobile Internet Resources website, you must be a paying member. True or false?
Totally false. We have a
Totally
ton of free stuff.
A lot of great free stuff there available, and do take advantage of
There
it.
is still one more.
Okay,
Oh, wow, you threw this one in.
what does MIA stand for?
We like to say sometimes it's missing an adventure, but we came up with it's Mobile Internet Aficionados. And why did we decide on that name? I thought it was random on a walk one day.
Yeah, it's so that's what we call our membership, our members, our MIAs. They are people who are aficionados of internet. Internet's important to them, and it's kind of our VIP club. That's what our members are.
So that's the premium membership of the Mobile Internet Resource Center.
Okay, and a Facebook private group too.
Yes. Oh yeah. So we have a Facebook group both for members, and then we have a Facebook group that is open to everyone.
That's Internet for RVers.
Right.
You can go, and we got 26,000 folks there, and we do our best to at least field the basic questions there.
Yeah,
and our staff
for free.
And our staff also helps out in there as well.
Wow. You make me tired.
Yeah. All right, Chris, what's the webpage that lists all of our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters?
It's geeksontour.com, and the menu item is blogs and news. You'll find our newsletters under there.
All right, the benefits you get by joining Geeks on Tour.
Our complete learning library of prepared tutorial videos, our member Q&A forum, and our show notes, and 7 ebooks, including the Google Photos.
Cool. Next time, we'll have a show next Sunday live. We should be talking about Google Photos.
And specifically uploading pictures from your computer to Google Photos.
And so watch for the posting in the show notes on Wednesday at thebuttonshow.com, and our follow-up Facebook Live at 5, Q&A on Thursday. If you have an idea for a topic, you can go ahead and leave those suggestions in the comments on thebuttonshow.com.
Thank you so much, Chris and Cherie.
This has been wonderful.
And it was great spending the day with you yesterday.
It was.
Oh, awesome.
We'll do it again sometime
We will.
soon.
In fact, we'll be down your way the end of
See you
this
this
week.
week.
Well, hopefully you'll be in the water and a nice marina, and we'll see you there.
Fingers crossed.
Oh gosh, please.
Very cool.
Thanks so much for joining us, and thanks so much for all your mobile internet information.
And it was great seeing all of your viewers come
Yeah,
on
we
and
have a
join
lot of
us.
people watching
It's
today.
very nice. I'm glad to see everybody there, and come back and visit us.
Keep pressing those buttons.
I'm Jim,
I'm Chris.
and we're Geeks on Tour.
What does this button do?
Don't touch that button.
How about this one?
Not that one either.
I just want to keep pressing buttons till something happens.
Whoops, wrong one.
See?
All right. Bye-bye.